Hello, I'm Carrie, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite Degrassi technical goof, so to speak. Now, I did a video called Did You See That?, where I basically pointed out a bunch of random things that happened sort of in the background of various episodes of Degrassi Next Class Season 4. And that reminded me of this really random thing that I saw in the very first episode of Degrassi TNG that I ever watched. Now, this happens in the Season 3 TNG episode Against All Odds, and basically we see Craig Manning teleporting back and forth between the club and his house. We see in this club scene right here that Emma and Manny are currently talking, but if you slow it down just a little bit, you can see Craig creeping in the back. He's ready to get him some Manny Santos. And Emma and Manny, they continue talking. They're talking about Chris Sharp and the fact that Emma has sort of a crush on him. And when they cut back to a wider shot of Emma and Manny, you can actually see that Craig has creeped up a little bit closer to these two. And then the very next scene is Craig Manning back at home. So if you notice that Craig is in the background of that club scene, it seems really weird that all of a sudden he's just magically back home, right? But to be honest, it's not really all that big of a deal. It's just a funny thing that you catch if you happen to be paying really close attention to the show. Obviously, you don't need to know a lot about TV production to know that they film scenes out of order. And obviously, they filmed all of these club scenes together. But it's fun to poke at. It's one of those things I will never not see when I watch this episode. The fact that Craig is just magically teleporting back and forth between the club and his home. And this video is a little bit shorter than I thought it would be, so here's a bonus technical goof for you. Taking a look at the Season 14 episode, If You Could Only See. We see the scene here where Miles has just gone off on Maya, and she's really upset about it. And then Zig walks up and he says,
Moneybags is a dork.
Or at least that's what he says if you're not really paying attention to what his mouth is saying. If you look at the movement of his mouth, he clearly says, Moneybags is a dick. And that's pretty savage for the writers to throw that in there like that. But of course, Teen Nick probably didn't like that, so that's why Degrassi had to throw a little ADR into that scene. And normally when they do ADR, if you don't know what that is, it's automatic dialogue replacement. It's where they'll shoot something, then they'll have the actors come back into a recording studio and they'll re-record certain lines. And normally when they do that, they're able to add the ADR lines into a shot where you can't actually see the character's face when they're talking. You can't see their mouth, so you won't be able to see much of a significant change a majority of the time. But since they can't do that with this scene, that's why it looks so awkward. And that's gonna do it for this video. Any Degrassi technical goofs of any kind, any size, from any Degrassi episode that you just can't forget, leave them in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to Degrassi Corner for the latest in Degrassi news and more.